So in the last lecture we saw chapter number 2, CSS. Now first of all we will see some few questions regarding CSS. So what is the full form of CSS? CSS means cascading style sheet. Which are the benefits for using CSS in HTML? So as we have discussed this in our lecture, CSS avoid duplication in code, use the same content with different styles for different purposes, and easy maintenance of code. So these are the benefits. Then which tag or element is used to write CSS code? Well, the answer is style tag. So if you want to write CSS code, then you have to write CSS code inside style and /style tags. Which attribute of style tag helps specify CSS technique? Well, the answer is type is equal to text oblique CSS. So if you want to write CSS code, then inside style tag you have to give type attribute. For that you have to write type is equal to text oblique CSS, that is in double inverted comma. If you don't write double inverted comma, then doesn't matter. Nowadays new versions of browser will automatically assume it. A CSS rule is made up of how many parts and which are they? CSS rule is made up of two parts. They are selector and declaration. Dash is used as a selector in a CSS rule. What we can use as a selector? HTML tag name without triangular bracket is used as a selector. A declaration in CSS consists of dash and dash. So in declaration we have to give two things, that is property and its value. Declaration is written in between which brackets? So if you want to write declaration means property and its value, then you have to write inside curly brackets. So selector, then inside curly bracket we have to give property and its value. A property and its value gets separated with which sign? If you want to separate these two things, property and its value, then we have to give colon sign. We have studied that if you want to give color property and its value red, then you have to give color colon red. Which sign is used to separate two properties in CSS? So if there are two or more than two properties, then we have to separate it using semicolon sign. Then in a CSS rule, h1 inside curly bracket color colon red, which is the name of property? Remember here color is the name of property. Then in a CSS rule h1 color colon red, which is known as selector. Remember h1 is selector. Actually it is HTML element, but when we are using in CSS, no need to give triangle brackets. In a CSS rule h1 color colon red, what is red known as? Red is the value of color property. The spelling of known is wrong. Which option is used to apply CSS in Composer? So if you want to apply CSS in Composer, then you have to use edit preferences option first, and you have to check whether the CSS option is selected or not. the option use CSS style instead of HTML elements and attributes. This option is situated under which category? It is situated under general category, remember. CSS editor button is situated in which toolbar of Composer? It is situated in composition toolbar. Then how many tab options are there in CSS style sheets dialog box? There are 7 tabs. So now our next topic in this chapter is JavaScript. Chapter number 2, JavaScript. HTML was originally used to control the appearance of web pages. It means you can display various types of information in paragraph or in various heading style. You can display images, you can display information in the form of tables, etc. So originally HTML is used for appearance purpose. It means to display various types of information in various types of formatting. The web pages designed using HTML were static and could not be changed after the browser rendered them. So once when browser shows the information, you cannot make any changes in the information. So there was a need for the website to have greater interactivity and better visual design. It means when user interacts, it means when user clicks on any object, then there must be some changes made in the output. HTML was made just to show various information on browser. Thus, there was a need to have a web programming language that can help create dynamic web pages. Dynamic means it can work with the user's input. So for example, it can change the options in a drop-down menu as per the user's selection. You might have seen in some websites that whenever you select country India in one drop-down menu, then the options in another drop-down menu automatically changes, that is states. So this way dynamic web pages can be created using JavaScript. Hence Netscape developed JavaScript, a simple, lightweight programming language, yet powerful enough to develop dynamic web pages. It adds interactivity to HTML pages and is inserted directly into the HTML code. So if you want to write JavaScript code, then you can enter JavaScript code inside HTML file. We can create HTML file in Notepad, and there also we can write the JavaScript code inside it. In short, HTML creates static web pages, whereas JavaScript can be used to create dynamic and interactive web pages. JavaScript. The main purpose of JavaScript is to validate the form data. We have already seen how to create forms in HTML. But whenever we create a form and input some information inside it, if we submit the form directly, then it gets stored in server. So it happens that sometimes user input some wrong information. Then what to do about that? So to validate the form data, we can use JavaScript. We studied how to create forms using Composer. When the user enters data in the form, he might leave some of the important fields empty. For example, username. So we must type username, but instead of that, suppose some user doesn't type anything there, then so here suppose nothing typed here, and user tries to submit the form directly, then what happens? Then this is wrong. Or may enter data in wrong format. For example, email. Suppose if you want to write email, then @ sign must be there inside it. So the correct way to write email address is ram@gmail.com. Instead of that, by mistake, it is written ram@gmail.com. So this is wrong format. So when such type of mistakes occur, then what to do? In such cases, there must be some type of validation provided. This validation will restrict users from making mistakes. So whenever you do some such mistake, it will not submit the form. Instead of that, it will show you the mistake. And in several websites, you might have seen such forms and such validations. When the user enters wrong data or leaves a field empty, an error message should be generated and the form should not be submitted. The most common form of JavaScript application today is client-side script, which runs inside a web browser. On internet, there are two types of computers, you know very well: server computers and client computers. Servers store and provide information in the form of web pages, and clients receive information using browsers from the server. So there are two types of computers. Whenever we connect our computer with internet, then our computer becomes client computer because we need some information. JavaScript code gets downloaded in client computer's memory. Remember, it gets downloaded in our client computer's memory. It uses our client computer's memory and gets executed for form validation. And that is why JavaScript is known as client-side scripting language. Remember, this is very important. JavaScript is known as client-side scripting language. So basically, there are two types of scripting languages: client-side scripting languages and server-side scripting languages. So here JavaScript is client-side. So it is used to validate the data entered in the form, in the HTML forms on the client side before sending it to the server. So whenever you enter data in a form and submit the form details, if there is any mistake, then immediately it will show you the mistake. It is because this JavaScript is made client side, so the process becomes very fast. JavaScript is made client side, so it saves time for the form validation. So this is client computer. Using JavaScript, the form is generally checked on client side for the following things: has the user left any required field empty? Has the user entered a valid email address? Check whether contents of two fields are same or not. Means password. You know, whenever we create a new password, it asks password two times. First we have to create password, and then we have to give confirm. Means the same password we have to give again. So it must check that both the passwords are given same. Has the user entered a valid data? Has the user entered text in the numeric data field? So these are the some common checks that can be performed using JavaScript. Now, where to write JavaScript code? JavaScript code runs from within the HTML web page. So if you want to write JavaScript code, then you can write it. So a JavaScript code can be put directly inside the web page HTML code as a separate section. So if you want to write JavaScript code, then you can open HTML code in Notepad, and then you can write the JavaScript code inside it. JavaScript code can be inserted inside HTML code, using script and slash script element. So if you want to write JavaScript code, then you have to use script tag of HTML. So in between script and slash script, we can write JavaScript code. Actually, in between script and slash script, we can write any scripting language code. You might remember in CSS, we have studied about style tag. So if you want to write CSS code, then we have to use style tag. Same way here, if you want to write JavaScript code, then you have to use script tag. So in HTML program, wherever we want, we can write JavaScript code. For that, we have to use script tag. So script tag, you have to start. Inside script tag, we can write JavaScript code, and at the end, we have to complete script tag using slash script tag. So the lines between the script and slash script tag contains JavaScript code. JavaScript code can be placed inside the body or head section. So inside HTML program, wherever you want to write JavaScript code, you can write it. So you know the HTML program structure. The HTML program starts with HTML tag and gets completed with slash HTML tag. Inside HTML and slash HTML, there are two sections, head section and body section. So a JavaScript code we can either write in head part or in body part. So wherever we need to write, we can use script and slash script tag same way. Generally, it is preferred that the code be placed in the head tag. Remember, JavaScript is case sensitive. It means capital letters and small letters are considered as different characters. So if you write capital M or if you write small m, then both the characters are different. HTML is not case sensitive, as whatever tags we are writing in HTML doesn't matter if you write in capital or small. So HTML or small HTML, both are same way. If you want to use h1 tag, then you may write h in capital or small, doesn't matter. But JavaScript is case sensitive. Here you can see script and slash script tag is used. Inside we have used two statements. First is var num1. Remember here, num1 is a variable. A variable is a name in which we can store some information, either number or any text. So if you want to create a variable, then you have to give var keyword. Remember, this var is a keyword that is used to create a variable. And here var we have to write in small letters. If you write in capital, then it will show you mistake. It's wrong statement. Now num1 is the name of variable and it is our own variable, so doesn't matter how we give the name, either in capital or small, both are accepted. But remember, here we have given num1 in small letters, so we have to use it in small. So in the next statement it is given num1 is equal to 10. This statement is wrong. Actually it will take both these variables as different. Small num1 is different and capital num1 is different, so here it will create mistake. So if you want to use this num1 small letter variable, then same way you have to give the name, because JavaScript is case sensitive. JavaScript statements are terminated using semicolon sign, or line break can be used. As you can see here, in both these statements, at the end we have given semicolon sign. So either you can give semicolon sign or you can press enter, doesn't matter. JavaScript, a default scripting language. There are several scripting languages used in web pages for different types of purposes. So, script and /script tag is used to write any scripting language code, whether it is JavaScript or VBScript or PHP, whatever it may be. So, type is the name of attribute that can be used to specify that which scripting language code we are going to write in our HTML program. So if you want to write JavaScript code, then you have to use script. Inside script tag, you have to use type attribute, and you have to write type is equal to text oblique JavaScript. So remember, for JavaScript, the value of type attribute is text oblique JavaScript. So statement can be written like this: script, inside script we have used type attribute. So type is equal to, inside double inverted comma, text oblique JavaScript double inverted comma over. So this way we can specify that we are going to use JavaScript code inside script and /script tag. But remember, for most of the browsers nowadays, JavaScript is made a default scripting language. It means that if we forget to give type attribute inside script tag, then most of the browser will assume that the given code is JavaScript code. So only for JavaScript doesn't matter if you don't give type attribute. So no need to give type attribute in case of JavaScript, but it is a good practice to give every time. Now we will see few examples of JavaScript program. Understanding JavaScript code. Assume that we are writing the entire HTML program including JavaScript code in Notepad. So as we are writing the program in Notepad, so we have to write the each and every HTML tag. So here we have started with the HTML tag, then head tag, that is used to start head section. Inside head section we can give title tag. So title, then written JavaScript first program, then /title. Now this is known as JavaScript code. So whatever we write inside script and /script, that is scripting language code. And here we have given type is equal to text oblique JavaScript. It means that whatever statement we are going to write inside script and /script, that is JavaScript statement code. If it is VB script, then we have to write type is equal to VB text oblique VB script. But if you forget to give type attribute, then doesn't matter, because JavaScript is default scripting language for most of the browsers nowadays. So inside script and /script we have written document.write hello and welcome to Ultravision Academy. Remember here, whatever we have given hello and welcome to Ultravision Academy, this will get printed in web browser, and write is the name of method that is used to print something, and where we want to print, that we have given at the starting, that is document. So here /head means head section has been completed, then body part, and then /html at the end. Remember, this is JavaScript statement. Here write is a method. Remember, either you can say method or you can say function, which is a part of document object. JavaScript is object oriented scripting language. So whatever you see on screen, means in browser, all the things are considered as objects. So browser window itself is an object. So inside browser window, the white part where we write something or where we display something, that part is known as document. So document.write means we are writing something inside document part. The string to be displayed is passed as variable to the method document.write. The semicolon sign is used as a mark of separation rather than termination. As we have discussed earlier, that for each and every JavaScript statement, at the end we have to give semicolon sign to terminate it. So it is actually not termination but separation of statements. So either you can give semicolon, otherwise you can press enter also. So remember, if you place each statement of JavaScript on a new line, then no need to put semicolon here. So either you can give semicolon sign or you can give line break, means enter. Another example we will see, assuming that we are writing in Notepad. So HTML, head part, body part started. So this program we are writing in body part. So script type is equal to text oblique JavaScript. Now JavaScript statement starts from here. var username. Remember that var is the name of keyword. It is a known word for JavaScript that is used to create a variable. And username, username, is the name of variable that can store a piece of data in computer's memory. Another statement we are giving, that is username is equal to prompt, enter your name. Now here username is variable, whereas prompt is a ready-made function. Prompt function is used to accept something from keyboard and store it inside variable. So whatever we type, it will get stored in username variable. Then document.write hello plus username plus welcome to JavaScript is given. Write is a function or method, you can say, that is used to print something in document. So it will print hello plus username. Username is a variable, and suppose we have given Ultravision Academy as its value, then it will print hello Ultravision Academy, welcome to JavaScript. So here it takes input from user and then it stores it in variable, and at last it prints the statement. So /script/